Senegambia. I'm your presenter, Adama Njie, with my so-called Jollof show. Today I'm back with you to talk to you about the tourist sector in the Gambia. Recently we have seen there's quite a lot of tourists going to the Gambia for the tourist holiday, mainly from Russia, Holland, and even last year we had tourists coming from Poland enjoying the beautiful sunshine, the smiling coast of Africa. One thing for sure people need to know about Russia. Russia is not all that what the media portray them to be. Indeed, it's a very good country. That reminds us going back into research. When you go to the Soviet Union, during the days of the Soviet Union, immediately after the Soviet Union, Russia actually built a university in Russia, in Moscow, which was called the Patrice Lumumba University, which was mainly for African people. They were going there to study about being doctors and engineers. So Russia has a lot to offer to African people, and I'm quite sure that the Gambia also, they will benefit from their relationship with Russia. We had a great opportunity to speak to the managing director of Tourist Board in the Gambia, Tourism Board, which was Mr. Adama Njie. Indeed a pleasure to have him on the camera. Mr. Njie, how are you? And how come, Mr. Njie, to sell this idea of tourism, Gambian tourism, to the Russian people?
Well, actually, I think before you promote a country, you have to do your due diligence of knowing what the country, what those citizens want. And one of the things that we did, when I say we, I mean the Gambia Tourism Board, and of course by extension the Minister of Tourism and Culture, we went to Russia, obviously. My memory serves me right, we went there twice. We did a road show. We actually attracted lots of members from the travel trade, and we came out with a report that actually shown us what the Russians really want. And those are the things that we actually have in terms of home village experience, in terms of the likes of safaris, the likes of visiting the likes of Kajikali. You know, all those things are things that they love, and you know, they also love partying, and you know, they want to have a guaranteed sunshine. Right now, I think as we speak, Russia is actually very cold. So we went further to the extent of even appointing a PR firm, but of course we have phased out all the PR firms now. They are all going to be replaced by destination managers who are competent Gambians with the technical know-how in our respective source markets. And yeah, we have done so many marketings in terms of farm trips, in terms of road shows, in terms of online and joint marketing campaigns with our tour operators, you know, from that end. So it is now paying dividend, and we have now seen the first flight, and I'm sure more will follow suit, you know, from the Russian market. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Njie. That was very kind and honest of you. The next question I want to ask you is, like, apart from selling tourism, was there any other thing that Gambian or you people have to promote, you went to promote in Russia on behalf of the Gambia and the Gambian people?
Well, I think from the GT board perspective, I think our mandate is purely tourism. But of course, there is no dichotomy between the tourism and investment. So when we went to Russia, we you know, it's not all about Russia, but when we go overseas, yes, our core mandate is promote tourism, but we promote the country in totality. That's why even when we're selling tourism to any country, we always talk about the investment opportunities in the Gambia, in terms of waivers, in terms of having SIC certification from GAIPA, of course through us, and in terms of even taxes, you know, that will be waived for 8 years or minimum 5. So we have all that because if you promote the tourism for people to come in, you also want investors to come and invest in products that are 4- or 5-star hotels. You understand? That is actually needed, and you know, unless and until that is done, you know, we will still have, you know, some challenges. We might end up even, you know, having tourists here, but the investment, you know, might be lacking. So, you know, when we promote everything in totality. Yeah.
To the benefit of our viewers of InterFace Gambia, note that this interview is coming from InterFace Gambia from the UK, in correspondence with our colleagues back home in the Gambia. Was there any opportunity to sign any contract with any Russian tour guides that will be contracted, or any contract to sign with any of the Russian companies that will be taking tourists to the Gambia? And if there's any, how long and how many years will the contract be?
No, interestingly, when we appointed the PR farms, unfortunately, you know, they were only there for 1 year. But, you know, like the new government came in and the Minister of Tourism and Culture and us, of course, have a new strategy direction. But even during that time, we were having tour operators that were selling Destination Gambia. But you cannot compare it with the direct flight of over 300 plus. They were coming in bits and pieces, you know, maybe 10, 15. But here you're talking about hundreds up to thousands. So it's a big milestone. Yeah.
Is there an opportunity whereby these two countries will collaborate and work together for the benefit of both countries? Because the reason I'm asking that is purely we know that Russia has been very good for students studying to become doctors, engineers, and so forth and so on. So will there be opportunity whereby Gambians could have easy access, or not easy access, but at least to have the opportunity to go to Russia, to travel there, to study?
Well, the beauty about it is, I'm sure you have seen that Gambia has the honorary consul in Banjul, and that's Lamin Manga, right? That tells a lot about. And I can confidently tell you that Gambia and Russia now is visa-free. So that means that any Russian can just take a flight. You don't need any visa. You come straight to Banjul, and you know you enter for 28 days free of charge. So the bilaterals have already been opened between Russia and, of course, Gambia. And I think also it's important for us to manifest and emphasize the fact that Russians are high spenders, by the way. They spend money. They are rich people. You know, it's the same as Chinese, and I'm sure this is actually manifested by even bigger countries like the UK and even the United States and even Scandinavia, where they always lure into getting Russians and Chinese because they have very high power to spend. And you know, that's what we need in this country. You know, we don't only need people coming for the sake of coming to the Gambia and enjoy the sunshine. No. We want people that will plow back into the community. That is because that's the only way we can enjoy the trickle-down effect in terms of tourism.
Mr. Njie, how will the Gambia government and the Gambian people benefit from this relationship which is between Gambia and their new counterpart, which is Russia?
Well, yeah, okay, let me start it this way. If a charter flight comes to Banjul, you have to pay landing fees, parking, lighting, and etc. And of course, the ground handling charges will be paid to GIA. You have civil aviation there. And of course, GT board will actually collect the development levy of £10 because that's what we use to market again the Gambia. So whatever comes in goes out again. And when they stay in the hotels, they will be having their drinks and they will go for safaris. They will do the excursions. And our own local ground tour operators are the one doing it. So it has already started trickle down effect already. And of course, when they go to places where they need to spend, they will spend. And even every hotel operating now have to pay your operational license, and you also have to pay your taxes to the GRA. So millions of dollars is annually realized the moment tourism starts, and that is why we believe that, I personally believe that even tourism, if you ask me, I'm not being biased, but I would say tourism is more important than agriculture. Because at least if you talk about agriculture now, if the rain doesn't come, you know, everybody, you just say, we have a drought. But if tourism fails, it's not only about drought, no foreign exchange or minimal foreign exchange will be realized in the country. And that's why I take tourism to be the first one.
Thank you very much, Mr. Njie. Like I clearly said, and we all know as Gambians, Gambia tourism department, in the GDP of the Gambia, it contributes 20 to 25%. And their target clearly is going to go more than that every year. With the growth that's going to come into the Gambia, which Gambian people will benefit from it, the Gambia as a whole. When it comes to tourism, my only worry, and that really, I'm sure most of the viewers of InterFace Gambia as well will be people that are coming into the Gambia. We don't even know all of them. Some of them have got criminal records back home in their countries they're coming from. Pedophilia is one thing that I'll be really concerned that the government please look into these people that are coming into their country. Not because they're coming from other side of Europe, even in the Western world where we are. We know that this pedophilia is quite in a higher rate, and most of these people are escaping the net. They're going out, they're using other countries, mainly in Africa and third world countries. And I'm hoping that the government will also pay a very good attention to this. And also, to put these tourists in a very safe place for them to enjoy their stays in the Gambia. So when they go back to their countries, they can sell the Gambia in their own way. What's your final thought on this, Mr. Njie?
Well, it looks like the interview was purely on the Russian market, and my take on this is just to extend the interview to the fact that it's not only the Russians that are coming. For now, if my memory serves me right, I think if you're going to compare back-to-back 2018, 2019 flight frequencies, if you want to include Brussels Airlines and other carriers like mid-fly, like the ARPs and AirSky, you're talking about almost 53 flight frequencies per week. And for me, it's it's a good thing, because the Russians will be flying 3 times in a month. You have TUI brand flying from Holland 5 times, and of course, if you want to also add TUI Belgium, you have 2 flights a week. If you want to also add TUI from the Polish, which they actually promised to fly in the summer, it's a plus. And if you look at the UK market, for instance, Thomas Cook UK will be flying 9 times a week. Gambia Experience 3 times. So you already have 9 plus 3 only from the UK. And if you talk about Holland alone, you have Corendon. That will add to the TUI brand. Corendon is also flying 4 times. One of the fourth frequency will be from Austria. So, but Brussels Airlines also will be flying on a daily flight from January to March every day. And out of those daily flights, 3 of them will be direct to Banjul. So, and of course, the Turkish airline also is starting to fly to the Gambia direct from November, from Turkey to Banjul. And the good thing about the Turkish airline is, it's just like Brussels Airlines, it's like a hub. Even if I want to go to US now, I don't necessarily need to go to Dakar. Maybe I can fly with the Turkish airline to Istanbul or to Ankara and connect to any part of the world, because they are also part of the Star Alliance. So, yeah, the signs are good. Like I said, 53 flights, it's a good thing. And yeah, the Gambia is here to benefit. Everybody is here to benefit. But my cautious statement is, if we promote Destination Gambia as the smiling coast of Africa, let all Gambians know that this is the smiling coast. Any bad experience to any tourist will be a disaster for us, because one bad experience can spoil 5 years of our work. If we join hands and be one Gambia, then the future is bright for all of us, not only in terms of tourism, but anything we put our hands on.
Thank you very much, Mr. Njie. That was the Marketing Director of Tourism Department in the Gambia, and we really appreciate your time.
The pleasure is all mine. Pleasure is all mine. Thank you.
The other thing I would like to talk about is the benefits that we can benefit as Gambians living in the Gambia or even living in the diaspora with tourism. Tourists can go to the Gambia not only to stay in the hotels, but also to go out and see the Gambia as a whole for themselves. They don't need to spend all their times in the hotels, because spending their times in the hotel would not show them the Gambia. But going outside, places like the craft markets in either Bakau, Banjul, Serekunda, anywhere where they can see the slave house in Janjambure, Jufre, Fort Bled, Kauchikali in Bakau. These are all tourist attractions where these people, those that likes bird watching, there's lots of places, there's different kind of birds. We, even the Gambians living in the Gambia, we didn't know that these species all in the Gambia. Because I've known people, I've seen people live in the UK going to the Gambia just to do bird watching. It is a hobby for some people, which I know most tourists will enjoy. Gambia has a lot to offer that we, the Gambia.
There is a land not far away, where the sea meets the shore on a golden beach, where the river flows through the forest in 1,000 creeks, a place where people smile and say hello. Welcome to the Gambia, the smiling coast of Africa.
This one for a blessed Gambia. The more we work together, the more we celebrate. The more we come together, the more we celebrate. Come on, let's get together. There's a place I love to be, the Gambia.
A date for your diary. Gambian Fashion and Exhibition Weekend. Designers are welcome to register interest. It's all about raising awareness of the fantastic work being done in our community.
Award night, fashion night and exhibition nights of top class only.
Vous vivez en Europe et désirez envoyer de l'argent à vos proches en Afrique. Alors pensez à Cash Minute.
Gambia has a lot to offer that we, the Gambians, even living in the Gambia, we don't know. Not only that, but still with the benefits of tourism in the Gambia, the tourists will come and spend at least, let's say, a minimum of £100. So imagine if you have 1,000 tourists spending £100 during their time in the Gambia. That's quite a lot of money into the economy. And if there is any foreign exchange, this is how the economic works. Because if there is no foreign exchange, then there is a problem with the system. And now, tourism again, what we're going to offer these tourists as well. Their security, which is very important. Because if they enjoy the atmosphere of the Gambia, which many people say, like myself, last year I was in the Gambia, early this year, just 2 months ago, I've met a Jamaican lady who really enjoys the atmosphere and the Gambian people. He adores everything about Gambia. He actually calls herself a Gambian. So these are things, I mean, it wasn't from me. The reason is because she has met people in the Gambia that have shown her the beauty of the country. This is why we call this man in Coast of Africa. And I'm sure these stories are coming. Talking about the Russians, going back into talking about Russians. Russians are highly well known for spending. They spend as much as the Arabs or the Chinese. I mean, living here in the UK, Park Lane, one of the most expensive postcodes in London. Most of the properties are owned by Russians, and there's lots of middle-class Russians living in Russia that would like to explore and see the bit of the world. As most of them said, as I saw clearly on one of their welcoming into the airport of Banjul International Airport, as they describe it, Gambia being a very small country, yes, very small but very peaceful, beautiful landscape, absolutely beautiful. This is what attracts these people to come to our beloved country, the Gambia. So if we can make it a safe home land for most of these people, I'm sure they'll be coming more and more. And if these tourists are coming more and more, that means they're spending money into our system. The money is not going out. And with that money that has been spent into the system, that will help to develop and create opportunities and jobs for youths, which is very important. Jobs for youths, yes, because the youth needs opportunity to work. And the opportunities are there. So how can we make this a very pleasant for people, very beautiful, pleasant country for people that are coming to visit our homeland, the Gambia? I will introduce one of my colleagues from InterFace Gambia who will be doing this short interview with Mr. Manga, who is the Russian representative in the Gambia.
So we're doing this for the Gambia Tourism Board, and as the consulate, we were wondering what are the expectations for the arrival of these guests?
I think the Gambia Tourism Board over the years has been doing a wonderful job in trying to make sure they tap into the Russian market. It has been an enduring journey, and through the policies that they had in place, not only have they created that environment, but they went as far as going into Russia, various destinations, Moscow, St. Petersburg, to talk to travel stakeholders. And the intention was to see how they can tap into that market. And today it has happened. Russian tourists around the world, Russian tourists have become traceable in the world travel market. And we're very pleased to see that today we're connecting the dots in Banjul. So it's a good day. Russians are starting it. In the past we had few Russians that came in other routes, but today is a different story because they've come in bigger numbers. And not only that, it's a direct flight, which means that Russians can from now on henceforth, at least during this season, can come in directly from Russia to Banjul.
Thank you very much. So how many tourists are here so far?
I've been informed we're starting with 350 every 10 days, which means about 1,000 a month, which is a very encouraging figure. And we hope that this will be a start of a bigger relationship. The relationship between Moscow and Banjul is very cordial, and the fact that now we've seen Russians in big numbers coming to the Gambia is an added plus, and we hope that this will also bring in other opportunities from investment in the hospitality sector and so forth. So we're looking forward to that. Thank you.
Absolutely. You said every 10 days. So when are we expecting to have the last flight?
I think GT board will be in a better position to answer that. The interesting thing is we have the numbers. 350 came today, as you heard. And another 10 days, we're expecting another figure like that. So we have to embrace this opportunity and thank the investor here, FTI, for making this happen.
We also like to give a big thanks to our colleagues back home and our co-workers and our partners as well, Kirfatu. We'd like to thank you on behalf of InterFace Gambia, team from London and also from back home in the Gambia. With InterFace Gambia, for the past 10 years, my producer and his team, of course with my manager, they've been working so hard to put the Gambia on top of the map of the world when it comes to tourism. They've been promoting tourism not only in the UK, but everywhere in the diaspora. InterFace Gambia have been doing this right down from the bottom of their heart. As much as they can promote tourism, they also showcase Gambian culture outside and within the UK. The reason the Gambia is called the smiling coast of Africa is not only because of the beautiful landscape, but the beautiful people, the culture, the diversity in the Gambia. Hello again, once again, welcome to InterFace Gambia with your presenter Adama Njie with my brand new show called the Jollof Show. A special announcement coming to all the viewers of InterFace Gambia. Come next year, 2019 June, UK's Gambia Fashion Weekend Exhibition 2019. Friday the 28th of June, we'll be welcoming a canopy, dinner, dance and award night. Come the 29th of June, which is going to be the Saturday, Gambia Fashion Runway with Gambians on top fashionists. Come the 38th of June, it's going to be the Gambia Fashion Exhibition. Now, the main aim of this is to raise awareness within our own young people. Assalamu alaikum mbokk yi di ñu seetaan fii si InterFace Gambia ngeen ànd ak seen presenter Adama Njie ci suma brand new show called the Jollof Show. Di leen jox daje nag pour ngeen ànd ak ñun si next year June ci suñ Gambian Fashion UK Gambian Fashion Weekend buy ñëw. We on the 28th, the Friday, June the 28th, ñu am a welcoming canopy dinner, dance and award night. On the 29th bi dinañ leen amal samedi boobu noonu nañ leen amal Gambian Fashion Runway ñi nga xam ne ànd ak suñu own Gambian youngsters yi pour promote ak support suñu youngsters yi def suñu yëfi boppa suñu affaire yi boppa. On the 30th dinañ leen amale Gambian exhibition bi nag ba tey suñu Gambian yi la suñu mbokki Gambian yi suñu doomi Gambian yi réewi Gambia li tax nañ ñu koy def mooy pour yee nit ñi si yu bari ak yi nga xam ne nii moom lañ mun a def pour jàppale doomi réewi Gambia rawatina xale yi nga xam ne nii ñoom la ñoo jàppale pour ñu wane seen man-man si liggéey bi ak ci aar bi muy youngsters yi ñi nga xam ne ñoo jël liggéey aar bi di ci def liggéey boo xam ne liggéey bu rafet bu jéggi dayoo dinañ leen amal ay youngsters ñuy jógee ba Gambia ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi si liggéey aar bi di si def lu rafet ak ñi leen nekkal fii tamit kon mbokk yi ma ngi leen di jox rendez-vous ba boobaa incha allahu rabi comme June 2019 incha allahu rabi from the 28th to the 38th.
A date for your diary. Gambian Fashion and Exhibition Weekend. Designers are welcome to register interest. It's all about raising awareness of the fantastic work being done in our community.
Award night, fashion night and exhibition nights of top class only.
Assalamu alaikum badingol men jibe kan InterFace Gambia telamale presenter Lamin Njie pour ka falle ko doronko Gambia Fashion Week membina inshallah rabbi next year June the 28th for the 38th. On the 28th, me men sotlale on the 28th avec hele canopy dinner night leti award. Meyan ko kombe menkela wala ko gambeno le do ko tandi molla. On the 29th, fashion night le meyan ko be gambeno le do ko aniye dedaro nyimma meyan ko ba do ko kekan arts nyin ko be wala tan lal atol me mol jibe kan InterFace Gambia. On the 30th of June, Osuto mba talala kadi kaka gambenol ye doku nyimmame yanko e bas tandi kan Gambia kono anin Gambia bantala me wole tala kaka exhibition ti pour ka tandi mol nyindung me ya sabu wolon ko awareness yele ka tandi mol la ko Gambia din ya me menla tubabudu anin bantala kono pour ka gambenol fana makoy pour yi fansu fengo pour sa tandi no tubabudu la anin bantala bankol la Gambia din ya pour ka tandi Gambenon fana yemen no pour kan sa tandi mo la mi anan ko be jibe ro kan ka InterFace Gambia anin mbadingol meme mo jibe kan hanisa me mem fulale wolon ko moye nyin sabo wolon pour ka tandal la ko Gambia din ya mi alan ko mbala tubabu do kono anin bantala aski be nyin evento men kala from the June the 28th me Gambia dingol solal mi alan ko bol nan Gambia le kay do ko nyima tandi tubabu do jang numbe sulori men wolon ko atol Gambenol membe bantala bankol kono pour fanan al samol support al yamol support al yal fan sun dingol support al Gambia dingol support pour bañu doko ñi mamen la mbokay betay di len leral ne ni yeen ñi ñuy sétane fi ci InterFace Gambia yeena mëna jappalé sen doomi réew yi muy doomi Gambia lañu invite ñu ñëw fi ni soké sen talent ak li ñoo def sen liggéey gu rafet gogu nga xamné ñu ngi ko def ci Gambia mom lañu indi fi pour woné ko jaay lolu kon ñu ngi leen di wax ne pour ngeen ñëw support InterFace Gambia ngeen ñëw support seen mbokk yi inshallah rabbi ñu ngi leen di jox rendez-vous ba booba.
Yo, this one for a blessed Gambia. The more we work together, the more we celebrate. The more we come together, the more we celebrate. Come on, let's get together. There's a place I love to be. The Gambia, the Gambia.
kon nag mbokk yi ñu ngi leen di xamal ne ni bés boobu noonu du bési kenn gannaaw yéen ñii nga xam ne yéen a ñoo seetaan si InterFace Gambia mooy yéen ñii di Gambien ak Senegambia yéen a xam pépp fu ngeen nekk rek ñu leen di wane pour ngeen ñëw jàppale seen doomi réew jàppale ñi nga xam ne nii ñooy doomi Gambia doomi Senegambia sa la ñoo wax ndax bu ñu waxee doomi Gambia ne maanaam ñu ngi see génne suñu mbokk yi di Sénégal kon boog askan bi askan ni ñëpp la kon ñu ngi leen di wax ngeen ñëw jàppale seen doomi Senegambia yi rawatina nag doomi Gambia si boppam te xam ngeen ne Gambia moom buñ ko wootee rek mooy pour ñëpp la Gambia mooy dëkk bi nga xam ne nii mënuñ koo xar ñaar mënuñ koo séddoo ñun ñëpp Gambien lañ nañ ñëw pour jàppale suñu réew jàppale InterFace tamit nga xam ne nii yàgg na di def lii di promote Gambian talent yàgg nañ di showcase di jaajëfal suñ producer bi di Sirif Jammeh mi nga xam ne nii liggéeyam macha allah fa tabarakallah yàgg na ci liggéey bi te ñëpp ràññee nañ ko si bu baax a baax kon nag mbokk yi ñu ngi leen di jox rendez-vous di leen jox ndaje ba on the 28th of June ba 38 man mii Lamin Njie maa leen ko présental bu boobaa incha allahu rabi kon nag Gambia ci kaw ci kanam rek nag rek bu ci dara dugg rek waaw jërë ngeen jëf yéen ñi ñuy seetaan ci InterFace Gambia.
Vous vivez en Europe et désirez envoyer de l'argent à vos proches en Afrique. Alors pensez à Cash Minute.
A date for your diary. Gambian Fashion and Exhibition Weekend. Designers are welcome to register interest. It's all about raising awareness of the fantastic work being done in our community.
Award night, fashion night and exhibition nights of top class only.
This one for a blessed Gambia. The more we work together, the more we celebrate. The more we come together, the more we celebrate. Come on, let's get together. There's a place I love to be. The Gambia, the Gambia.
Welcome back to all the viewers of InterFace Gambia. Again, I'm your presenter Lamin Njie with this exclusive interview with Mr. Adama Njie, the Marketing Director of Gambian Tourism Board. I'll now leave you with some of the interviews that we had with Mr. Njie from InterFace Gambia previously.
Adama, if I may come back to you again, communication. Honorable Minister mentioned the diaspora and is somewhat not very pleased with some of the members of the diaspora community who it might be, somehow disappointed in which they promote Gambia. But a greater number of diaspora Gambians, who I will call a silent majority, are doing their bit in ensuring that Gambia is marketed. From your point of view, how can the diaspora people help in making your job easy?
Thank you very much. I think, like you said, a platform like this is actually complementing our efforts in actually promoting the destination. I think all the diasporans, everybody's role is to actually see the positive side of the country. Because I always say this everywhere I go, is that if tourism grows, it's not only the GT board or the Minister of Tourism and Culture, it's for all Gambians. Directly or indirectly, will affect either people living in the Gambia or even outside the Gambia. So activities like what InterFace is doing is something that should be emulated by everyone. At least GT board cannot do it alone, neither the Ministry of Tourism and Culture. So, we can only play our part. But of course, the diasporans, like you said earlier, has a role to play. And if we are talking about, like you said earlier, if we're going to talk about the new Gambia, we should all be optimistic. And portraying negativity would hamper the development that we want for tourism. And not necessarily only for tourism, but for Gambia's development in particular. So I think, you can never stop people criticizing or even saying something negative about what we do. But we are an institution full of professionals, and I think the best approach in terms of promoting the country is you take the negative and turn it into positive. I think that's what we have always been doing, and that's what we will continue to do. But like I said, everybody needs to support our drive. It's not an issue of criticizing. Well, you can criticize, but criticize constructively. And even, we even appreciate people to give us advices, because like I said, we cannot do it alone. But everybody's job is to complement what we're doing in promoting the Gambia so that we can reach the next level.
To be fair to the rest of the panelists, I'll go around and let them give a last word before we close the program. Mr. Njie.
Well, thank you. I think, we just have to be very grateful with the entire team, headed by the DG. And of course, thank you to Ida for the job well done. And just like what he said, let's work together and promote the Gambia as an all-year-round tourism destination. We cannot do it alone. The diasporans and every Gambian has a role to play.
Okay. Coming to our base is Mr. Adama Njie, who is the Marketing Director of the Gambia Tourism Board. Mr. Njie, welcome to InterFace Gambia. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Same here. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
As the person responsible for marketing, communicating tourism strategy, tourism boards activities around the globe, the Gambia's tourism brand that is in connection to the 2015-2020 blueprint, whereby you intend to have a set number of tourists in the Gambia by that year, there's about 5 million tourists. Is that good?
No.
Half a million tourists. 5 million would be nice.
Well, that would be great. That would be great. Yeah, that would be great. But yeah, it is actually 500,000 arrivals by 2020.
2020, 500,000 tourists to be attracted to the Gambia by 2020. What's the current level at the moment?
Well, actually, we're actually seeing some increment in terms of our arrivals. Of course, you're fully aware of the fact that during the Ebola crisis, in 2013 we were about 171, and of course Gambia was not infected, but we were seriously affected by the Ebola stigma in West Africa, and
171,000.
Yeah, that was in 2013, so that was the highest. But we have seen that we are now getting closer to that. And most likely, we might either be at par with that or above that. But we're very optimistic that with the number of flights and the number of commitments we have from our partners overseas, the signs are really, really good. Because even an example I can give you from the UK market, last year or year before last, Thomas Cook was bringing only maximum 5 flights. Right now, they're doing 9 flights a week. You talk about Belgium, we never had a chartered flight for over 16 years. Now we have a chartered flight from Belgium under the TUI brand, which is adding up to the flights that TUI is already having. And if you look at TUI's arrival also, they have now increased to very close to 5 to 6 flights per week, from the Dutch market. So, it's pretty much picking up. Yeah.
Now, as the person responsible for marketing Gambian tourists, what is the main marketing strategy that you have in place to attract other people who are not the traditional destinations, say for instance from the UK or from the Scandinavian areas, attracting people outside those traditional markets? What's the strategy that you've been using?
Well, we have lots of strategies. I think right now the current strategy we have is the MOTC strategy, which is actually spearheaded by the Honorable Minister of Tourism and Culture. It actually outlines what are the actions that we need to look into to actually drive the numbers, and I think one of them that is key would be the cultural aspect of the Gambia. We know about the culture, and of course we have also introduced some new products like the Bird Festival, which is the first time that an African country, or West Africa for that matter, to be specific, would organize such. We had that about 2.5 weeks ago, and that was the maiden festival, and we're going to have it as part of our calendar of events. And of course some of the strategies that we put in place, like you can see we're here at the trade fairs. We don't just go to all trade fairs, we go to selected trade fairs like the World Travel Market, the ITB, and Fitur, which is in Spain. And I think we also have joint marketings with our partners. What I mean by that is actually promotional campaign which will be done in collaboration with our partners, likes of TUI, Gambia Experience, and of course we also appoint PR firms. Currently we have about 6 PR firms worldwide, and pretty much those are the things we're doing. But of course e-marketing is now a very big strategy drive that we're taking, because when we did the customer service survey from the airport, we realized that almost 60% or above 50% have actually non-destination Gambia through online marketing, and that is why we're pushing a lot. Even our joint marketing we're having with our partners, 70% of that is towards online campaign, and the 30% then we do it on the print and outdoor campaign.
One of your strategies is to ensure that the Gambian people also understand the importance of tourism.
Absolutely.
And the impact of tourism in their daily lives. How is that drive going on so far?
It's actually going on, and I think the platform like the one that you have now is actually complementing our efforts, and I think you're doing a good job to actually promote the Gambia, particularly from the UK perspective. And your platform, many Gambians are actually watching it, so which is actually good. In terms of the issue of other, in our locals, we have lots of platforms like the Expedition Gambia. We also have some radio partners that we have. That every week we have radio programs that we showcase Destination Gambia. Every week also we go on TV to talk about Destination Gambia. Either is Expedition or Jutai Tourism. So, and Gambians are really appreciative of what we are showing them, and I think for us it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
And the impact that it has on the people, for instance, in the hinterland, say you go to Janjanbureh or you go to Basse, you have ecologies in places that are not traditional, that are not in the greater Banjul area. And how are people accepting those now, as opposed to what used to be every tourism activity was concentrated in Serekunda, Banjul area, but now in the hinterland?
No, I think if we want to achieve our aspiration to actually have tourism to trickle down to the to the locals. We have to promote the hinterland, and I think that is why last week we actually went to upcountry for almost 5 days, in which the Honourable Minister was actually part of it. The reason why we did that was we wanted to actually look at the products that are actually upcountry, because we need to appreciate what is actually in the hinterland, and if the standards are at our level, then we are okay. If we realize that the standards are not as per our recommendation, we will take some actions to either advise on the next level or even close them completely. And I think that is the only way we can actually attract tourists going to the hinterland, and we are really serious about that.
And of course, I must add that in the Gambia, we don't have those kind of problems where tourists, when they go to the hinterland, they get kidnapped or get a lot of crimes and stuff like that. Doesn't happen in Gambia, does it?
No, absolutely. You know, I mean, wherever we go worldwide, we always say Gambia, from our perspective, is the safest country in West Africa. Because, like you said, you know, there are certain countries, of course, you will not dare walk at night. Gambia, you can go anytime that you want, and you're free. And I think that's the beauty of the hospitality that we sell to the outside about the Gambia.
Mr. Njie, before we go, any final words for our listeners, or our viewers, I should say, who are watching InterFace Gambia right now?
Well, I just say they have to keep on watching your program, because it's very educative, and I think you guys are really playing your part, your quotas in the development of the Gambia, which is our motherland.
Thank you very much, Mr. Njie.
Pleasure's mine.
Here with me is Mr. Adama Njie, who is the marketing director. Adama is responsible for marketing, basically telling people about Gambia. Is his responsibility. Adama, thank you very much for being on profile on InterFace Gambia. We say, how has it been? This is day 3.
Well, yeah, it's actually very interesting. We have actually had more than 25 meetings, of course, for the first 3 days. So it's really impressive. And I think this is a platform where Gambia don't actually leave any stone unturned, because if you look at the statistics in terms of our arrivals, of course, the United Kingdom topped the list, about very close to 50,000 arrivals per annum.
Mm-hmm. Now, you the marketing person, basically, and you're selling. Last year hasn't been very good because of the Ebola outbreak in neighboring countries, even though the Gambia hasn't had any case of Ebola, but it has affected tourism arrival in the country. And this year, what are you doing in making sure that you push through the media that we are back in business?
Well, you're right. What happened last year, like you rightly said, Gambia was not infected, but we were affected. That is why our arrival had a drop of -9%. If you take, of course, 2013 arrivals as a base. But the strategies that we actually adopted last year was that, yes, Gambia is not infected. So we actually inform all the PR firms that we are not going to talk about Ebola, because we don't have Ebola in the Gambia. Yeah. So the strategy we were doing was just crisis management. So that at least, we don't talk about Ebola, but we also make sure that anything that is negative coming from the media, we will try to mitigate the damage. And I think that has actually paid dividend. And that's why we are seeing some promising arrivals in this year's
and actually
season.
Last year you've invited, or you've welcomed some top class athletes who came to Gambia. You gave them a big treat. They went to Gambia, and even in the middle of Ebola crisis, and those were good ambassadors for you, especially those who came back and said, look, hey, Ebola is not in Gambia. We went there and came back without having any infection. And that was something that you spearheaded with your team to try and give them a treat and take them around, and then also see, even though the season was not very good, but we were able to get some people from the UK, high-profile people, to come.
Yeah, that's a very good point. But I have to say thank you to you guys, because you actually spearheaded for those senior officers or very prominent British people came to the Gambia. But of course, you were also in the forefront from the UK perspective. It was actually a very important trip, because we were just trying to showcase that Gambia is normal as usual, because if we actually happens to stop anything that we were doing to promote the tourism during the Ebola crisis, we would have had a problem. And that's why we said we're going to encourage farm trips to the country, including the one that you actually spearheaded last year. And I think it's actually paid dividend. At least we have seen that all those that came from the UK were actually sending messages even on their Instagram profiles, on their Twitters and everything. And that has really actually helped us to actually change the perception of people that were actually scared to come to the Gambia during the Ebola crisis in West Africa. And like I said earlier, it's actually paying dividend.
Yeah, actually, let's have a watch of that clip of those visiting athletes who came to the Gambia. They went to Jifre, they went to James Island, other places, and the trip was actually, funded by the Gambia Tourism Board. Let's have a watch, and then when we return, we shall continue to chat with Mr. Adama Njie, who is the Director of Marketing at the Gambia Tourism Board. We'll be back after the clip.
Hello viewers, I am Yaola Sise reporting for InterFace Gambia, broadcasting live from the Gambia, West Africa. Today we are receiving 4 very important guests from the UK athlete. Amongst them we have Marilyn Okoro, UK 400-meter runner, Commonwealth and Olympic medalist.
The smiling coast of Africa.
Hello, I'm Yaola from InterFace Gambia.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome home.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you. We've been told that you are in town for a very special occasion.
Yes, I've arrived with my family and friends. Gambia is our home.
Yeah.
So anytime we're on the plane and we're about to land, you start getting, obviously the family, it is home, and it's just amazing to be able to come and see the family and the culture and just get back into the routine of what we're used to when we arrive in Gambia.
Welcome to Gambia.
Thank you.
How was your flight?
It was great. It was really good, thank you.
Is this your first time to Gambia?
First time to Gambia, yeah. Yeah.
What do you expect?
Lots of sunshine, wonderful people, and a great environment to just relax and rest, catch some sun.
To Gambia.
Thank you very much, okay.
So we hope you have a very good stay in Gambia.
Thank you very much. I hope so.
We'll catch up with you.
Catch up with you later.
All right, thank you. Welcome to the Gambia.
Thank you.
Is this your first time in Gambia?
It's my first time, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Have you done some research on Gambia before coming?
Not too much.
Not too much. So, do you know what to expect?
Just beautiful people, beautiful culture, good food.
So it's very good to have you in Gambia.
Thank you so much.
I know you have a very long flight.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave you to rest, but we'll be catching up on you on the visit.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Nice to meet you.
I'm covering this exciting trip. As you know, we have a host of celebrities from UK in the Gambia for a personal visit, but today we're going to take them all the way to Alfreda for a very exciting trip. So, well, have fun.
Welcome to the Gambia, the smiling coast of Africa. Only 6 hours from Europe and bathed in year-round sun, the Gambia is the destination for a fabulous holiday.
But James Island, according to the history, is the back of the island. You cannot see all this part. It's inside the water now. You see only in the middle. That's the back of the island where we are. From here, we're going to see the gunpowder house. This is where the bossman lived. It's a story building before. The councillor and the governor. So that's a